Hey guys. Okay. Let's wipe this off. Hey, Classy. Can you hear me? Okay. Let me get my... Nate, are you full, buddy? Hey. Hey, guys. Okay. I'm going to do... we're going to do this live stream. I'm going to do it a little early because I'm going to be home at 6. And I want to talk to him about some stuff because his job wants him to go to overnights. And I'm like, no. So I just got done making pork chops for Nate and mashed potatoes and green beans. So he had that for dinner. Okay. I had done a live stream earlier and I asked you guys to give me some questions and some topics that you guys would like me to talk about in this video. And a bunch of people submitted topics and I wrote them down, and now I want to go over them with you guys. So if anybody is in the Hangouts, so let them know that we are live, if you all don't mind. Okay. Let me see something. There we go. Can you guys hear me still? I hope so. I'd like to hear more about your pregnancy. Okie dokie. Here we go. Let me get... Fart poop duty. Fart poop duty? What does that mean? Okay. Okay. Hi, Paul. Hey, Classy. All right. I'm sorry about that light right there, y'all, but it is what it is. So, hey, Matt. Where have you been? Hey, Gypsy. I wrote your question down, girl. So I'm going to answer it today. So, good job, Matt. That's what I like to hear. So, everybody, hi. Welcome back. Welcome to the channel, you guys. My name is Nicole, and I'm the creator of this channel, Real Talk Recovery. I also have a podcast called Real Talk Recovery, and it's on Anchor. I also have an Instagram called Real Talk Recovery, and all that is linked in the description of this video if you guys want to go check those out. I just share my experience with recovering from the disease of addiction and being on a medically assisted treatment program. And yeah, I made this channel because I needed support, and now I just make videos sharing what I do to stay sober and just sharing my journey on medically assisted treatment and getting off of that. I'm actually down to 6 milligrams now, and I'm sticking at that milligram until February 14th because that's when I go to see my doctor again. I work a 12-step program. It's AA. I have a sponsor, and I work with other people doing steps. So, excuse me. and I don't work in treatment. I actually have a regular person's job. I do have lots of friends who work in treatment. So if anybody ever needs help or they need to find somewhere to go, like a rehab, you just message me. I can get you connected with the resources. And I don't mind doing that at all. Like, I always answer my DMs, always. So I got a couple of questions and I was going to answer those for you, but there's a couple that I want to spend like time on. So when I get to that question, I will. So when Jessica asked, she says, what do you do to relax? Honestly, you guys, I love Netflix and chill. We just got our Netflix to play on the TV. And so I am obsessed. Today, I didn't have to go to work today. So I put on this movie called, God, what was it called? All Mine. And it was about this girl and this guy who he was obsessed with her. And he was actually a police officer in this really small town. It's new on Netflix. You're going to go watch it. It's called All Mine. So I love doing Netflix and chill. And then, like Classy just said, I get these little face mask things that are like really cold. And I like to do that. I love makeup. So like today I did my makeup and I made myself look pretty. I put some glitter on my eyes and stuff, you know, just stuff like that. But I just like watching good movies. I like spending time with my family. I like spending time with my husband. I love going out to the movies. Like if my little boy wants to do something outside, I love taking him like on hikes and adventures when it's warmer outside. So yeah, okay. And if I could travel anywhere in the world, where would I go and why? For me, I want to go to like Hong Kong or Korea. It's so awesome, Matt. I love Netflix. So I want to go to like Hong Kong or Korea. And this is why, you guys. I don't know if y'all know this about me, but I love the girls. I don't know what you call them, like Harajuku girls, and like the K-pop and the way they put their makeup on, the Korean style, how the girls have the like red in the middle and it's like blotted out, and they're so beautiful, like glass. Oh, I'm sorry, Paul. Yeah. Here's the thing, okay? Like, are you still getting high? Because once we start using drugs and we change the chemistry in our brain, right? Then it's like nothing else is fun. And the only way we can feel good is if we're using. So when you get sober, okay. So here's the thing. I know that you're struggling right now, okay? If you're still in active addiction, it sucks, because I don't know about you, but when I was in active addiction, I wasn't rich. So I couldn't stay high all the time. I did my best to maintain. And if you're on heroin, and you don't have a whole bunch of money to shoot dope every single day, then you're going to be in withdrawal. So I'm on methadone, but I keep falling off the wagon. Okay, so that's okay. Listen to me, all right? Are you doing anything else besides being on methadone? Are you doing any kind of like therapy, counseling, like any kind of meetings, anything like that? Because here's the deal. And methadone might not be, you might need to try Suboxone, because I'm going to tell you my experience with methadone, and that I'm not judging anybody because they're on methadone. Right. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. But do you want to be sober or use? Because that's the thing. When you get to a point where you're like desperate and you don't want to live like that anymore, you'll say, okay, I want to do this. And then you'll have to make a decision, because if you're still kind of like, here's the thing. Okay, Paul, if you're only keeping people around you, like all your old dope dealers, all the people that you used to hang out with, you got to get rid of all those phone numbers. You got to change your phone number. You got to stop hanging out with the same people, and you need to get a support system, okay? You can't do it on your own, Paul. You need to get a support system. You need to get other people like us here in this group who are sober. Come hang out with us. I do a live stream every single day. I live stream every single day. For me, my experience when I was on methadone was it just made me, methadone was not good for me because I would just take copious amounts of methadone and then I would take benzos, and it almost like made me want to get high more, you know? So when I got put on Suboxone, it really helped to just like nip those cravings in the bud. But I'm going to tell you right now, Paul, like I had to change everything. When I got put on Suboxone, I started going to meetings. At least 3 meetings a week is what I started out with. I got a sponsor and I called her every single day. I started going to therapy once every 2 weeks and then once a month. You have to fill your time with these positive things to do, because what's happening is you're having to retrain your brain, because the only thing your brain knows how to do is cop dope. Okay, so you're sitting at the house, you're chilling, you're hanging out, you're watching Netflix, and your brain goes, okay, Paul, it's time to go cop some dope. So you go cop the dope, right? So when you get sober and you're on your methadone and you're sitting at the house after you left the clinic and you get home and you're sitting at the house and your brain goes, okay, Paul, let's go cop some dope. That's when you say, no, I'm going to call my sponsor. Or no, I'm going to go to a meeting. Or no, I'm going to get on the live stream and talk to everybody on the live stream. When that trigger comes in, it triggers that thought to use. You got to take that thought and turn it around and do something. Take action. Go out for a walk. Pop a mint in your mouth and chew on it. Do anything you can to change that thought process. But you're going to need help. You're going to have support to do it, because right now, being all alone and sitting in the house copping dope all the time, you're only with your own thoughts. And so being inside your mind, that's a bad place to be. Our minds are our worst enemy. As drug addicts, we have a diseased brain. So what you have to do is you have to learn how to fight that disease. Okay? So when that thought, you have to know that it's only a thought. You don't have to go out and get drunk. You don't have to, you don't have to go out and cop dope. You can do this. Okay? If you're on methadone, you're just waiting anyway. You know? I know a lot of stuff has fentanyl in it, but if you're on methadone, it's just a waste. Yeah, back on H. And that's what happens is, you know, prescription medication leads a lot of people back to heroin. I'm telling you though, Paul, like, and I'm not like trying to be, you know, a bossy know-it-all or anything, but you got to get help. You need help to do it, okay? You can't just be at the house all by yourself. Like, you got to get connected. You got to get connected to sober support. You can do this. I mean, you're not alone. You got all of us here. Welcome, family. Welcome to the family. Everybody tell Paul, welcome to the family. There's usually a whole lot more of us in here, but everybody's probably just getting off work. We'll see. They'll be around. And, but really though, you're going to die if you keep on doing heroin. You're going to die. You don't want to die, do you? You know, that's what you have to look at it like this, Paul. You got to look at it like this. I can either get sober or you're going to die or go to jail, you know? And I'm sure you got family. You don't want to leave your family. You're better than that. You deserve recovery, okay? And if you have to be on maintenance, well, that's the thing, Paul. You can't be afraid to fail, okay? We, as drug addicts, we think we have to be perfect. Okay? We think that there's some magic cure and we're going to get into recovery and we have to do it all perfect. Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something right now. There's no right or wrong answer in recovery. There is no one way to recover. It is a destination. You are going to be on this journey for the rest of your life. Okay? So just get on. Come on. Come hang out on the good side. Look at me. I'm living in this house. I got a job. I got my son over there. I got custody of my kid. I got a nice car out in the driveway. I feel good. I feel like I look okay. I got friends who care about me. I don't got to worry about no dope heads coming over to my house and stealing my shit. Like, life is good. Life is good today. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. Like, I get stressed out. My kid's 4 years old. He drives me crazy sometimes. But you know what? I'm learning how to deal with stress. I'm learning how to deal with, those feelings of agitation and like, oh, I just don't want to do this. Because I don't want to go back to that life. I used to get so ashamed because I'm on Suboxone and people look at me and go, "You're on Suboxone? Yeah, you're going to get off that, right?" Blah, 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 blah. And I used to get really ashamed and be embarrassed, right? And now I'm like, fuck that, dude. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Like, I'm doing good right now. I got to stay on course. And just like Classy said, heroin is only a temporary fix. Because once it wears off, if you're a real heroin addict, it's not even getting you high anymore. It's just keeping you from getting sick. So you're just wasting your money. Think about all the money you can save. But this is the thing, okay, babe? You got to make the decision. Stop pushing away the help. Stop pushing away people that care and want to be there for you. And accept it. Yeah, just accept it. Accept the help that's been given to you, okay? I don't know how you found my channel, but this is a miracle. This is, yeah, totally. This is your what am I trying to say? This is like your thing right now. Like, look, you're in here with us. This is your chance. Okay? Just start now, okay? Start right now. You're on methadone. You don't have to go get no H, okay? You don't have to do it. You can do this. You can make the decision today to stay sober. Yeah, Jessica, I came on early because I figured you'd probably be going to sleep soon, girl. You can make the decision today to not pick up, okay? So right now, make that decision. And then I want you to plan for success. If you don't plan for success, then you're planning for failure, all right? So what you need to do is tonight. I don't know who that was. I think it might have been Bama. Still there? So if you're not planning for success, you're planning for failure, okay? So this is what you got to do. Tomorrow, when you get up in the morning, or right now, get on your phone and Google some AA meetings and find one close to you and go to a meeting tomorrow. And then get your ass a sponsor, okay? And then, when you go into the methadone clinic, if you go tomorrow, tell the people up there that you need to have a counselor session and that you want to talk to somebody because you are struggling, staying on track. All right? And do not manipulate. Do not lie about it. Just be honest. Okay? It will help. You got to be honest. All right? Say, I'm struggling. I need help. Because nobody can help you if you're not honest. And that's if you're who are we lying to really? When we're getting high, you guys, everybody knows. We're not keeping a secret from anybody. The only person that we're hurting is ourselves, because we're prohibiting ourselves from getting the help that we really need. When we're, fibbing and making up stories and saying it's not that bad, any person in their right mind, you know, doesn't go out and shoot heroin and spend all their money on dope. You know, any person who's sane and logical wants to have nice things and, you know, be happy in life. I lost my job. I was just sitting around now. Okay, so Paul, boredom is one of my biggest triggers. We talked about this last night, I think. So if you know that boredom is one of your triggers, then what do you need to do? Fill your time, okay? So like I'm saying, tonight when we get done with the live stream, get connected, okay? Look up some meetings that you can go to during the day. Find some recovery channels. I can tell you a bunch of recovery channels. There's my channel. There's Derek Lambert's channel. There's Talk Sober. They do live streams too all the time. There's Avalon Decker's Addiction Recovery. There's Jason. He has a channel called These Four Walls. There's Addict to Quit with Zach. There's, gosh, there's so many of us. It's like hard to even remember everybody. Anyway, I have so many recommendations, and I have podcasts that you can listen to that will like help you. And what it does is you might not be doing anything. You might just be chilling at your house, but you're listening. You're listening to recovery all day long, and it's like working through your brain. You know what I mean? Because you got to keep that recovery at the front of your mind, because if you don't, that's when we fall back, because we forget where we came from, and our brains take us back to only the good times. The good times is all our brain remember, is that euphoric recall. So we got to keep that recovery right here at the forefront. So that way, if we have a weak moment, we got those tools right here. Okay, I'm feeling weak. I need to reach out. I need to call someone. I need to get to a meeting. I need to get online and talk to my sober friends. We also have a Hangouts, and I'll help you get there, because it's like a link that you have to get there on there. But we have a Hangouts where we all hang out and we talk. And if you're cool and we can trust you, we'll add you to the Hangouts. You dig? So, yeah, we got a whole little crew here of people that we just talk to each other all the time. And we help each other stay sober. So, what are you doing, Paul? What are you doing then? Pull the trigger. This is the beginning of the rest of your life. You know, I'm telling you, listen, it's not going to be easy. There's going to be days when you're going to want to use. There's days when I want to use. There's days when I want to get high. And I'm like, but I'm telling you, I wouldn't trade my worst day in my recovery for my best day out there shooting dope. It was horrible when I was in my active addiction, and I have freedom today, you guys. I have freedom today, and I feel good, and I'm happy, and I have a purpose. You know, I have a purpose today, and I never had that when I was shooting dope. Today I have purpose, and I get to come on here and share that with you guys, and that gives me life. It gets me fired up and excited, because I get to see other people and tell them about what works for me and how I'm doing it. And then they say, okay, I'm going to try that. And then I get pumped up and I get so excited, because I'm like, yes, I know what it felt like when I first heard someone telling their story and I could understand and I was relating to that shit. It was like a light bulb. It's like, bing! Your eyes light up and you're like, they're just like me. I can feel that. I know what this girl's talking about. I know what this guy's talking about. I've been there. Yeah, I know what you're saying. And it gets, man, I'm telling you what, that's why I share my story like I do, because I remember when I heard someone tell their story and it was just like mine. And I bawled my eyes out.
Like your eyes lighting up like a light bulb?
Yeah. I bawled my eyes out, because I was like, I'm not alone. And you guys aren't alone. Like, we're not alone. We've all been there. We know what it's like to struggle. And the thing about it is, to inflict that, to have that affliction on us, we know. It's a struggle, y'all, but it's worth it. I'm telling you right now, it's worth it. And you know what? I had a girl the other day. She just started going to meetings, and she just got herself a sponsor. So she texted me, and she was like, my sponsor wants me to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That really seems like a lot, Nicole. And I said, girl, no it don't. I said, do you remember what you used to do to get fucked up? You know, and I had to like, you know, and she was like, you know what, you're right. You're right. Because we would go to any lengths to get high. So why won't we go to any lengths for our recovery? Why won't we go to any lengths to heal our brains? You know what I mean? We would go to any lengths before, and now what? What? Oh, so somebody wants you to read a book and pray and meditate. That's too much? Somebody asks you to go to a meeting. That's too much? I used to walk in the blizzard snow to get dope. You know what I'm saying though, guys? Like for real. Okay. I'm getting on a tangent. So here's what Jessica asks. Do I have any songs that trigger me? And I was going to tell you guys, there's this one song by Lil Wayne. The lick you like a lollipop, that song. And that whole CD, Lil Wayne, from back in the day, like from 2009, 2010, triggers me. Because when I hear those songs, I think about back then when I was like really out there. And yeah. Okay, I don't know if it was Gypsy Soul that asked this question, but I think it might have been. How do I get back into living after addiction? And she said, like, as in like cleaning and getting your house together and just doing like regular living stuff, you know? And so I thought that was a really good question, because when I first got into recovery, I didn't know what to do with myself. And I'm telling you guys right now, same thing I told Paul. What I did was I got a sponsor. I found someone who had more sober time than me, and I asked her, like, what am I supposed to do? All I can do is think about wanting to get high. Like, how am I supposed to stay sober if all I can think about is drugs? And that's when she told me, like, this is what we're going to do. It's okay, Paul. We've all been there. I've done the same thing. Now it's time to do it again. Okay? If at first you don't succeed, try again. I've done it too. I cannot tell you how many times I have literally drove to my dealer's house because I deleted their number. Or I told them not to sell to me, and then they wouldn't, and I fucking had to beg them.
Mommy?
Mm-hmm.
I was playing with my car, my flying trophy car, and this guy just trespassed.
He trespassed?
Yes!
Ooh, that's bad. You better get him. So, getting back into like a living, like a schedule for me was difficult, but I'm going to tell you what I've learned and what I was told to do. My counselor and my sponsor both told me to get a calendar or a planner and to plan my days. At the beginning of my recovery, you guys, I used to plan my days by the hour. Okay, I'm waking up at 8 o'clock. From 8 to 9, I'm going to eat breakfast. From 9 to 10, I'm going to wash the dish. I mean, literally, hour by hour by hour. You know why? Because I needed to make sure I had things to do for each hour, because if I didn't, and I had that boredom time where my little devil's playground hands, you know, didn't have anything to do, so I would like get into some mess or call somebody to get dope. I filled my days every hour, and that helped me so much. I filled up my days. I went by schedule every hour. Okay, so that way,
hey,
like,
Nate, hey, Nate's mom, somebody just trespassed. Somebody just trespassed.
Hey, Jason.
Somebody just trespassed.
Well, you better arrest them. Okay. So, the whole schedule thing really served me well. And then I also, like I said, I was going to meetings 3 times a week at the beginning of my recovery. I would go to a women's meeting on Wednesdays. I would go to my home group on Fridays. And then I just went to a regular meeting on Mondays, like at the treatment center. But, and I met people that I could go do things with, like go get coffee and like hang out with afterward. And I had girls over to hang out with me. And, you know, I also have a kid. So my son's 4, and I would take him out to play, because my sponsor also taught me that whenever I'm like feeling some type of way, if I can get out of my head and be of service to someone else, help somebody else, or do something for my son, then that will help me to get past that thought or that trigger. So a lot of the times in my early recovery, when I was really struggling, I would take my son outside or go down to the park, and we would just have so much fun. And because I knew with my son, I wasn't going to take him nowhere, you know, to do drugs. So we would go do something to keep me occupied. And it really, really helped, you guys. And I would also call my sponsor and talk to her, or call my friends that were in recovery, or get on chat and talk to somebody. I've been doing that for 3 years and 6 months. So I haven't picked up alcohol or drugs in 3 years and 6 months. So it's worked, you know. I had to become willing to listen to the suggestions that my sponsor and my counselor were giving me, though. You know, I had to stop. I had to stop making excuses and saying, oh, well, that's too much to do. I can't do that. Like, I just had to start doing it. And when I started doing it, I started seeing results. And that's what made me even. I was like, oh, shit, I'm getting high. This is working, you know? And I don't know about you guys, but I'm a polysubstance abuser. I get high on anything. Meth and Roxy's were my favorite drugs. IV, okay? And Xanax. So when I got on Suboxone, all it did was take away my opiate cravings. I still wanted to get high on meth. So I had to start really working hard on keeping myself from, you know, going out and finding my friends and getting dope, meth. Because first of all, and then I started gaining weight, and I started getting even more triggered because I was gaining weight, and I knew if I got meth, I could lose the weight. So you guys, I'm telling you, like, these maintenance medications, they're not going to save you from getting high. If you want to go out and get high, you will go out and get high. So we have to plan for success. And that's why, you know, like I said, I wrote down everything I did every day and planned it out, so that way I wasn't just wandering around. So that's how I got back into living. Well, and you know, Paul, you're not for days all at one time. It's one day at a time, you know? So don't look at it as I have to stay sober for 8 years. Look at it as all I got to do is not pick up today. Like right now, all we got to do right now is stay sober for this hour while we're on chat. Okay? And then the next hour. And you just take it hour by hour if you have to, you know? It's going to take time for you to build your, like, retrain your brain. Oh, Jason, it is definitely so much better, you guys, than going back and forth in between relapse and staying sober. Relapse and staying sober. You know what I mean? Because I know that if you're relapsing, that you don't feel good about that. I know that you don't want to be in this position. I know you want to be sober. You know, and it takes time. You can do it. You just got to start believing in yourself, change your attitude, start looking at things like instead of looking at the bottle as empty, look at it as half full. You know what I'm saying? Biggest regret, and what did I learn from it? Ooh, girl. Biggest regret, and what did I learn from it? Okay, my biggest regret was spending 7 years of my life with a man who beat my ass every single day. And what did I learn from that? That that no man ever deserves to put his hands on me, and that I deserve a freaking king, and that I'm a catch, okay? I'm an awesome, awesome chick. I might have been in my addiction for many years, but that don't take away. I'm a good person, and I have a big ass heart, and I would help anybody. And so anyone who gets to be with me or be around me and have my friendship is blessed. And I had to learn that. So my biggest regret was staying with that guy for so many years, because he really hurt me. Rattling, using it. Paul, that's because you're not keeping yourself busy. That's because you're literally sitting at your house right now, twiddling your thumbs. You need to get around people who are sober and start hanging out with some people and doing some things to fill your time. Some productive things for your recovery. Nana, I'll call you back. I'm on a live stream. Heffa. Okay. So, I'm telling you, like, you're just sitting there. You can't just sit there in solitude and like let your mind sit there and go dope, 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 dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know. Listen, I know. You can do this though. You got to fill that time up. Okay. You got to get out and get connected. All right. Is it easier or harder when you're married to an addict? And if he relapses, would you? So I don't know if you guys know this, but my husband is also in recovery. And we both got sober at the same time. The reason we got sober, or the thing that catapulted us into sobriety was my son, our son, being taken away from us because we were, on drugs. Okay, Paul. So, it's me and Neil, he understands what it's like to be an addict. And so we relate on that level. We both understand that it's hard. I think that it's easier for me because I can't imagine having a guy that didn't know what I was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, Neil has been down through there with me. We've both been, in active addiction for many, many years. And so, but hold on a second. Then I wish I could, he has struggled with his sobriety. And so I stayed sober and he had, a couple of relapses in between. His dad had passed away and just some difficulties that he's been having. And I didn't relapse. And I thought that I would. And so I remember that was always my biggest fear. Like, I always would think, oh gosh, if he relapses, am I going to relapse? I'm going to get high if he relapses. And I didn't, you guys. In fact, I cried my eyes out, and I was so upset and disappointed. In fact, and I help people every day with addiction, and I spend so much time helping others. But when it happened to my husband and he relapsed, I didn't know what to do. I was so mad at him.
Don't cry.
I'm not going to cry. I was so mad at him. And then I had to look inside myself and realize, like, I treat all these other addicts and alcoholics with so much respect, and I help them, and I'm loving, and I'm tolerant, and I'm caring, and I don't tear them apart. But when the person I love the most relapses, I ripped him to shreds because I was so mad at him. And that's when I realized, like, I've got a lot of work to do on myself because he's struggling. And no, he doesn't want to be like this. He's sober now, just so y'all know. But I had to look at myself and realize, like, I've got to make some changes because I've got to help him just like I help guys, And so that's what I've been working on doing, actually. We just talked on the phone earlier, and he called because his boss wants him to go to overnights. And I was telling him, that's fine, but you've got to get your recovery first. You've got to start getting to your meetings. I want you to get to 1 meeting a week, and I want you to your sponsor, and I want you to show me that you're doing this, because here's the deal, you guys. My husband, he's very, very smart. He's got a college degree and all that kind of stuff, right? What he does is he does just enough to get me off his case, and then he kind of falls into the background. And I know from experience that doing just enough isn't enough. He will relapse. It's happened to me so many times, and I've watched it happen to him so many times. So that's why I'm like, you've got to get busy doing a program, and you've got to show me that you're doing it, and show me what you're working on, and tell me what's going on, because I want to know that you're going to be okay. Because working overnight it's triggering. You know, he's going to be tired. He's going to be up there with people that are probably tweaking and stuff. Y'all know how it is. So I want him to be armed. And I said, you know, you're not arming yourself with the facts. You're not arming yourself with your tools. So you'll be defenseless. If something happens, you won't have any defense against the first drink or the drug. So what you got to do is you got to arm yourself with the facts. You got to be ready. You got to have your tools on. You got to be prayed up. You got to be meditated up. You got to have your sponsor in your back pocket if you need to call them, or your accountability partner, whatever y'all got. You know what I'm saying? You got to have those different resources so that way if something happens, you can put up that defense. Just like when he relapsed and he came home high and I looked at him, I said, oh shit, I got to call my sponsor. Put up that defense. And I went and called my sponsor right away. Told his ass to get the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to play that. Homie, don't play that, y'all. You ain't coming around me looking all crazy. That pisses me off. So you better go on down the road. Go to your mama's house because you ain't sleeping here tonight. I'm not going to lose my recovery. I love my life today. Y'all, listen to me. I used to live my life every day to shoot up dope. Every day I shot Roxy's. Every day I shot meth. I thought that I could not go a day without shooting that shit into my veins. Every single day. Okay? And when I didn't have it, I didn't get out of the bed. I was pissed. So now that to see me in this camera right now talking to you guys and happy without shooting dope is a miracle. And I'll be damned if anybody takes that away from me, because I don't want to lose it. I love my life. Look at my little boy's playing. He's having a great time. He's right here by mama. He's safe. He knows he's safe. He's with me. You know, he was gone from me for 6 months. That was all my fault. I did that. I put him in harm's way. And now I'm never going to let anything like that happen again. I will go down in fucking flames before I lose my recovery. Because if I lose my recovery, I'll lose my son.
I was trying to hit this guy off and he just go right past him.
Oh, wow.
He fell off the edge. He fell off the edge.
Then she says, if I could rewind time, how far back and why would I go? Mercy, girl. If I could rewind time, I would go back to the time that I used drugs.
What?
Oh, you're okay, Paul. You listen, baby. I would go back.
Why would you do that?
Because I would, you know what I would do, Nate? I would never, ever pick up that bad medicine ever again.
If you do,
my son's so smart.
If you do, I'm going to cut your head off.
Yeah, you can cut my head off if I ever do that. I promise.
Yeah.
Okay? I would rewind myself back to that time when I first started dating this guy that treated me bad, that made me feel insecure. Okay? And I would tell myself, you are beautiful. You don't have to be skinny to be pretty. You're tan, gorgeous. You don't have to be white to be pretty. And I would tell myself that Mexican, Italian girls are sexy and that men love girls with a tan. Because you know why, you guys? When I was little, I hated my skin because everybody would make fun of me and call me taco and burrito. Okay? And everybody would call me fat. And then I started to die, and I wasn't fat, you guys. I wasn't fat at all. I was like 120 pounds, 140 pounds. I was just thicker than the other girls. I started dating this guy, and he cheated on me, and he made me feel like shit. And then I started dating another guy who told me all the time how I wasn't skinny enough, and that if I would just lose 10 more pounds, I would be perfect. And then I started dating a guy who beat my ass every day. For 7 years, beat my ass. I would go back, and I would tell my younger self, when you grow up, everyone is going to want to have tan skin, and everybody is going to love that look, and that you're beautiful just the way you are. And I would tell myself that you don't need a man.
Your phone fell on.
Okay. You don't need a man to validate yourself. You don't have to have a guy tell you or love you to love yourself. Because I didn't know that. I thought I had to have a man to love me, to about myself. And I mean, now of course I love my husband, you guys. He's my best friend, you know what I mean? But he came later in my life. Come on. He didn't come into my life until 2012. What, babe?
Come with me to go get my guy.
Go grab him. I'm right here. Go. I'm not leaving you, son. He's scared of the dark or something. What are you scared of? Go grab him.
Come on.
Nate, go grab them.
Come on.
Tools, huh? So that's what I would go back and change. And I would tell myself that, you know, that I'm good and that I'm worth something. Nate, go grab it. I'm right here. Go, Nate. Go.
Come with me.
No, go. I'm about to get the switch. If you don't go down there and get it, I'm going to get the switch. Go. Right. You know that, Max? And I learned that, you know, but I didn't know that back in the day. Back in the day, I thought I had to have a guy. You know, and I think that plays about... I have a dad, y'all, and my parents are still married to this day. But I think the fact that I felt like I had to have a guy really played a big part in my addiction, because I was always, you know what I mean? I was always searching for that perfect person to be with. You know what I mean? And, oh, I was always searching for something. Tell me this. Do you guys feel like there is a void inside of you that you've been trying to fill with, and that's why you use drugs? Do you guys feel like there's like this spiritual, this malady, this hole, a void, and that's why you use drugs and alcohol, because you felt like you needed that shit to kind of make you better? That's what us addicts, we're born with that, y'all. And that's why, like, people who don't have the disease of addiction, they don't understand that it's something that we're born with that shit. We're born with this, like, inferiority complex, almost, where we don't think we're good enough. Right. I know. Listen, Paul. What's wrong, Paco? I totally understand. I'm laying on my bed, you guys. Don't judge me. You okay? Paco. And as we recover, okay, and we get better, gain more and more of our lives back. It happens slowly over time. The past 3 years of my life, I've been working really hard, you guys, on therapy and my step work and just on being a better person altogether. And I'm telling you right now, if I can do this, if I can stay off of the needle and recover. You okay, Paco? It's okay. Got a hairball? Don't throw up. You okay? Okay. If I can stay off the needle and stay off dope, then you guys can too. Okay? I know you can. So that's why I come on here and I get heated and I get into what I'm saying, and I kind of get excited when I'm talking to you guys, because I know you can. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? But you gotta want it. You gotta want to change, okay? You gotta want it. You gotta get honest with yourself. You gotta be willing to take the suggestions given to you, and you gotta open up that mind. You can do it, though. I was a junkie. I would fuck anybody. I would do anything. I would steal. I would lie. I would cheat. If I had to, I'd probably kill somebody. Okay? And now, look at me. I'm living life. I got my son. I got a good job. I ain't got no felonies on my record anymore. I got all that shit taken care of. You know, I still have a felony, but, you know, I did all my time. I paid the price. So if I can do it, you guys can do it. Okay? I hope you guys enjoyed this little live stream tonight. And I want y'all all to know how excited I am about the channel growing, and how excited I am about having all of you here on my channel and how much I love and adore and I just love it. It just makes me so happy. And Paul, I'm so glad that you came over to the channel, and I hope you'll stick around, and I want to extend my hand out to you. You can message me anytime on Instagram. All my links are in the description, or you can email me, and I will get back with you right away. I love you guys. I'm going to jump off here. We'll do a stream tomorrow at 6, same time. Be back here about 5:30 tomorrow, and we'll do a stream. But I hope you guys are enjoying these, and I'll see y'all tomorrow, okay? All right, guys. I'm tired. I'm going to go take off this makeup, get me some of those little eye patches with the cucumber stuff in them, lay down and close my eyes. All right, guys. Love y'all.